Hello, today we're going to talk a little bit about distribution of reports. In our industry, we generate all kinds of reports. We need them to get them to the people that need to see them. Lots of ways to do this. We're going to start with some of the basic old ways of doing things and work up to some of the more automated features and functions that we provide with our system. Um, so we're going to go into a particular, find a project, go in and get to a assignment, and we fill out an assignment, we get it ready to go, and we can go view that report in a couple of different ways. We've got generally a couple of different reports. And the old-fashioned way of doing things is we'll create a PDF of a particular item, and it goes out onto our uh, hard drive. We open up that PDF, and we can look at the PDF, and then we can send this PDF via our regular old email and get it off to our clients, and that's one way of getting a report out the door, kind of the old way, but it is one way of doing that. We've got another way to do report distribution, individual report distribution at the assignment level. So we can go into the distribution of an individual assignment, and we can, a lot of different assignments might have more than one report associated with them, and we can choose just to save this to a disk. We can just store this out to the cloud so that it's out on the cloud storage. Or we can, once we've selected it, we can send it to somebody and put some subject in there, and maybe put some little message in there, and then we can choose to email this to as an email with attachments, or we can send it as an email with just a link to cloud storage, which is a little cleaner with the email. Doesn't create a lot of use up a lot of space on the client's mail server. So anyway, that's essentially how that's going to work. And you'll see that we get a little report back that says this has been mailed for us. And but these aren't, and of course you might want to email this when you're out on a client, out on a construction site. Maybe the foreman wants to get a copy of a particular report. You stick his email address in here, stick a little subject in there, and email it to him. A couple of seconds, it'll show up on his cell phone, and you've got your preliminary report sent to the client. But there's ways of doing these reports, because we're generating hundreds of reports every day, from the lab tests, from the field reports, from the DIRs, all of the different reports that we generate. We need to get them out the door. And so we've created some ways of automating this process so that we don't have to do each one individually as they get generated. And to do that, we have at the project level, we've got automated project level distribution. Now at project level distribution, we've got a lot of different options for setting up different distribution groups, we call them. Each different type of distribution group can be set up with a new distribution group. We just give it a name. We've got some different classifiers as to whether or not we want to send those reports out as attachments with blob store. If we want to actually do only attachments of the assignments. We've got a few of these already set up, so we're not going to spend a whole lot of time there. And we're going to look at the four different types of distribution groups that we can do. Now, the first type is one we've named this specific embankment reports. And for any set of reports given to a particular distribution group or set of recipients is the definition of a distribution group. And so in this particular situation, we can select particular reports that are part of this particular project template, and we can select as many or a few report types that we're going to send to this distribution group, or it's a set of recipients that we've got. We set up a subject, and we can do whatever text we've got. We can do some selections. We can go in and put a particular bring in some information from the database, kind of in a mail merge format, and make this message as slick as we want to be able to make it. And then we can set up the frequency. Last sent date is important. Back at the assignment level, where the trigger to get it on automated distribution is simply the approval. Once this assignment is approved and we've got this type of test set up, it will be queued up to go automatically out on the next distributions that has this type of report set up, or all reports set up for it. And as we get back over to the distribution at the project level, we've got options to see include attachments for that particular assignment. We can set it up to do all reports, which is what we do on the second one. But we can set a frequency as to when we want this report distribution group to be activated and sent out. Typically, we do them in the middle of the night so that the server is CPUs are not being used elsewhere, and it's not going to create a problem for anybody. But we can select any of the time frames that we want, weekly, monthly, daily, a couple of times, or just manual send. The next type of distribution we do is in all reports. Each different report type that we have has a default report that is set up that we customized for each individual user. And this is the one that we set up typically for every project that we do. We at least get all reports set up so that all of the default reports get sent out to the clients to do the things that they want to be able to do. And so that's very typical. We can also set up for the invoices. You'll notice they don't have a selection down here either. And so any of the invoices that get created and finalized will automatically get sent out. And generally you can send those out on a weekly basis or a monthly basis, however you'd like to do that. The last type of group that we do is project level reports. And these are reports that are maybe the budget information, maybe there's concrete listing reports, soil density listing reports, so that you have a whole table or tabular listing of all the reports done to date on a particular project, all the concrete breaks that have been done, or concrete test sets that have been done with the breaks and that kind of information. So they're kind of more weekly summer reports that can be sent out to a particular set of recipients, and those can be very helpful. And we can, generally those don't have attachments associated with them, so and they go out weekly. Generally works real well. So there's lots of different varieties of these distribution groups that we can do. There's another button where we can download an entire project's worth of final reports from the cloud onto the server, so that and they are organized by task and then by report type in a regular old directory structure in a zip file, and allows for a nice way of getting a final set of reports to the client, and so they can have them on their server, organize them however they want, and do what they want to do. Another thing that we do, if a lot of clients would like to have access to find the reports that they want to find on their own, and rather than have them all come via email and then they have to take them out of the email attachments and put them onto their hard drives and organize them, it'd be nice to be able to just go find the finalized reports historically and pull those reports up directly. So we've got a, a way to give clients access to the system, and they can come right into into this form, and it will give them just access to their projects. And in the top box, we give them ways to go in and do searching and filtering by the different by lots of different ways. Generally, when you have uh, cloud storage, they're just in directories and directory structures, and you've got the name, and if you haven't got the search criteria in the name of the file that's out on the cloud storage, it's hard to find. We give all kinds of different ways to search and filter. Every one of these items can be sorted. We can go in and filter by a particular item. If we want just the northbound stuff or just the southbound, we can do what we want to be able to do, and filter things the way that it makes sense for us. If we want to do stationing, we can do filter by stationing. We actually pull stationing out, so we can just sort and filter by numerics, and be able to do the things that you want to be able to do there. But anyways, just a lot nicer way to go in and find a specific item based on a type of report. We've got product and breakdowns of different work zones that people can use to go in and find the types of reports that they need to find. And this makes it a lot easier to go find a specific report. The bottom part of this is where, instead of bringing down the entire project, we can go in and download just a particular task. If we want to just bring in the concrete, we can go download all the concrete reports, of course, for a particular date range and so on and so forth. Or we can go in and just download a specific root level or family of reports. Or of course, we can always just go in and download a specific report, and here's the specific report that I just downloaded, and that's another way to go in and find a particular report and do a search and bring down different parts and pieces or groups of finalized reports. It gives you a few ways to find and bring down any different report that you want to be able to get to. So, but anyway, these are a few of the bits of information that might be helpful about automated distribution of the reports. Get them out the door once they get finished. Hope this was helpful, and we'll see you next time.